Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Milwaukee 1/4-inch drive long locking flex head ratchet. We'll go over the specs, features, pricing, and then we'll tear it down to take a look at the internals, so I really hope you guys enjoy. I will have this product linked down in the description, and then I have a list of other tools that I suggest underneath the tools and tools continued link, so all of those tools are there for you if you guys are interested. But other than that, if you guys follow the channel, you guys know probably how I feel about Milwaukee hand tools. I run the Milwaukee M12 lineup and I really enjoy those tools, but when it comes to their hand tools, I do believe they have a lot of products that are good quality, but I also feel in their quality range, they are priced quite a bit above a lot of the others that are in their quality range. So that's why I don't own a lot of the Milwaukee hand tools, but sometimes you get suckered into a good deal. Sometimes you just get suckered in without a good deal. I bought it, so let's take a look at it. So here we are looking at the 9-inch Milwaukee 1/4-inch drive locking flex head ratchet. So we'll get into some of the specs, and then we'll go over some features and the pricing, and then we'll tear it down and take a look at the gear and pawl setup. So I do also have the Gear Wrench 120 XP semi-locking flex head and the Tecton semi-locking flex head. 60-tooth gear with dual pawls and also a 90-tooth setup, just like the Milwaukee. We're not going to tear these down and compare them, but I will go over a comparison as far as size. And the reason I purchased this was because I'm putting together a universal bag, a bag that can be used for multiple different types of jobs, and I wanted a long 1/4-inch ratchet. And I also don't want to take away from what I'm going to have here in the garage. These are the longest 1/4-inch drive flex head ratchets that I have, and I wanted a longer one. And 1/4-inch drive long flex heads aren't that common. You have tool truck brands and a couple brands that sell something like this, and then you have your extremely cheap ones, and I didn't want to go that route, so I just dealt with the price and bought it. So as far as the Milwaukee, the length, you're looking at 9 inches. Obviously, I've already stated that. It does actually come in at 8 7/8, but who's really checking? The Gear Wrench 120 XP flex head is 7 inches, and then the Tecton is 6.5. So quite a bit of extra length there, as you can see. And then as far as head width, we're looking at 950 thousandths of an inch, or 0.95 of an inch, or 24 millimeters. With the Gear Wrench, we're looking at 1.03, so just over an inch wide here. So the Milwaukee is a little bit thinner in width. That would be roughly 26 millimeters wide. And then with the Tecton, we're looking at 960 thousandths of an inch, so just a hair wider than the Milwaukee with the Tecton, or 24.6 millimeters roughly. And then as far as head thickness, we're looking at 420 thousandths of an inch, or 10.7 millimeters. With the Gear Wrench, we're looking at 410 thousandths of an inch, so a little bit thinner, but once again, that it's literally by a hair, or 10.6. And then the Tecton is 380 thousandths of an inch, or 9.8. So the thinnest as far as depth. But overall, I think Milwaukee has done a very good job of keeping this head nice and slim all the way around. Very comparable to the others. Cheaper ratchets, you tend to have a bigger, bulkier head. And I also prefer a non-quick release ratchet. That's just my preference. So that is comparisons as far as the length and then the width and depth of the head. But once again, it is a nice, long, slim profile. And then when looking at the handle, you can see it kind of expands out down here, and then you have two flats. And you kind of got a ball end there. It is very comfortable in the hand. I mean, it's a very small ratchet. I mean, it's big for a 1/4-inch, but it's nice and slim. You still get a good grip on it while still being comfortable. So they definitely did a good job, and I must say they did a very good job on the chrome. And then as far as the backing plate here, is a flush mount with two Phillips head screws. I already stated this is a 90-tooth ratchet that gives you a 4-degree arc swing. And then as far as the locking positions or the locking mechanism, you have 7 different locking positions. The thing that's kind of cool about this, I must say, I really like this locking mechanism. The location and how it operates, done very well. So you have a lock position and a unlock position. And you can lock it in the unlock position. And then it's free floating. You just have a free floating flex head. And then you can obviously lock it into any position that you want. But if you just move it over to the middle like that, then you can click it to the next tooth. Like so. And it just automatically locks back into that position. So I find that very nice. I think that's a great locking mechanism. There's hardly any play in it whatsoever. And that is something that you need to be aware of, especially in your cheaper ratchets. You tend to have quite a bit of movement between teeth, even if it is locked. So once again, overall, I like the size, the slim profile, the length, the chrome, and the locking mechanism. And then as far as the switch, reverse switch, operates very smoothly. And here is just a quick check. I must say it's a very smooth ratchet, so very surprised. So if you guys watch the channel, like I say before, I don't own very many Milwaukee hand tools, and that's not because they're not good quality. I think they do a great job on a lot of their tools. Not all of them, but a lot of their tools, hand tools. But a lot of the times they are priced out of what I'm willing to pay for something in this quality range. And then it also does come with the Milwaukee limited lifetime warranty. So before we tear this down, let's talk about pricing. I picked this up at Northern Tool, and I searched Amazon and all the other websites that I could, and I don't see any difference in pricing. This is about as low as I could have got it, unless you get it on a sale at a certain time of the year. But this is normally $59. So not ridiculously high, definitely not cheap, but if you're looking at other ratchets in this quality range, you're probably looking at around $40. So $40 to $50. So it's a little bit higher, but I also had to keep in mind that it is a locking flex head and it's an extra long, and you don't see many manufacturers out there making long locking flex head 1/4-inch drive ratchets. So this is $59. I picked it up, Northern Tool. They do military discount, so I got a discount on it and ended up picking it up for $54. So I saved a few dollars, which is nice, which is better than nothing. I was going to buy it either way. But other than that, you can get the non-flex head version of this for $45 as well, and then they have, obviously, a bunch of other ratchets. But that is it as far as the specs, features, and pricing. Let's go ahead and tear this thing down. Like I stated, they are just Phillips head screws. And they do include a little dab of blue Loctite on the screws as well. Here's your backing plate. A little bit of grease on there. And there's actually a rubber O-ring around that backing plate, so it is nice and sealed. It may be on the backing plate, it may be in the actual ratchet itself, so just make sure you don't lose that. But here you can see Paul, the reverse switch, and gear as well, so let's go ahead and remove that. There's the back side of the main gear. Very fine teeth. It is very clean. Then looking at the pawl, nice fine teeth. And I tried to count these teeth. There's approximately 20 on there, all right? So you got plenty of tooth engagement. They are very, very fine teeth, so it is good to see as many teeth engaging as possible. So those 20 teeth will definitely create a nice strong surface, locking surface. So you get that nice 4-degree arc swing and still good strength. Obviously this is a 1/4-inch ratchet, and you have it in extra long, so you're definitely going to be applying a bit more torque with this than your standard length 1/4 inch ratchet. But obviously keep in mind it's still a 1/4 inch ratchet. Don't go He-Manning this thing to the moon. It is very, very lightly greased, more of on the backing plate. I'm actually going to probably take some couple drops of oil and just lubricate this thing. And then remember when you're putting this on that you still have that O-ring on the backing plate or inside of the ratchet there. And one thing I did want to mention before I forgot, well, technically I did because I'm coming back to record this part, but socket retention. So the Milwaukee has great socket retention. As you can tell, I'm using a deep well socket here because you can see more of the movement with a deep well socket than you can with a standard length socket. You are always going to have some movement, which I will consider this very little movement for socket retention. Whereas like here I have a cheaper ratchet, but it's one of my go-to 1/4 inch ratchets because it's so tiny. But it does have quite a bit of slop. I will say Milwaukee did a great job with fitment. A little bit of stiffness here, but overall it's going to break in nicely, and I really like the fitment. So overall, I think it's a fantastic ratchet. I think it could probably be a little bit better with pricing, but once again, that's just kind of the way Milwaukee hand tools are. They're just a little bit, more expensive. But, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and buy some things that you want. And I wanted this, so I bought it. If you guys have any questions on this that I did not mention in the video, please feel free to comment down below, as well as your thoughts on the tool. Also, keep in mind, I will have this tool as well as many others linked down in the description underneath the tools and tools continued link. And if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys next time.